What is up everyone, welcome back to another Mortal Kombat video, and in today's video we're going to be counting over 20 hidden Easter eggs and details in Ghostface gameplay in Mortal Kombat 1. If you guys are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button as I'm trying to reach 25,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we are dangerously close. Also, make sure to drop a like if you enjoy the video and comment any hidden details that I might have missed throughout the video. With that being said, let's jump right into it. First off, we have the different Ghostface identities. Number one being Billy Loomis. As we can see in different cutscenes, his mask flies off and we can see the actor's likeness underneath, which is really cool. I'm really glad that they picked a Ghostface and went with it, and being Billy, one of the best, maybe even the best, is really, really cool. Now there are a couple of other identities though. A lot of people think that these would be the Enforcer and the Assassin variants in your moveset. These moves are obviously referencing two 3D era characters in Mortal Kombat, being Cobra and Kira. Cobra does this fire kick very, very similarly to Ghostface, and this knife twirl that Ghostface does is very similar to a character named Kira. These are both characters from the 3D era, and in a game like Mortal Kombat 1 that brought a ton of characters from the 3D era into the modern era, it's no surprise that these are probably Cobra and Kira. Now, there could be a possible fourth Ghostface being Stu Macher. Listen to this intro.
Is that you, Billy? Of course it is, Stu.
That is during a mirror match, and normally mirror matches are not canonical in any type of way, but with a character like Ghostface where there's so many different identities and they actually reference Stu Macher, it is possible that maybe in a mirror match it's Billy versus Stu and Kira and Cobra are switching sides as the fight goes on. I'm not really sure. Let's move on. Our next little detail comes in the form of Ghostface Fatality, where in one of them the camera zooms into the opponent's eye as they are shocked at there is two Ghostface and they are about to die. Now, what happens with a character like Kenshi, who is blind and has his eyes covered with a cloth? Well, they actually updated the cutscene to be different for when Kenshi is your opponent, which is super cool. This is basically the exact same thing, except in this little scene, instead of zooming in on the character's eye, the camera will show Kenshi's POV and show kind of like this blue hollow vision, kind of like they do in movies where you can see like this sonar effect. It's only for a split second, but is definitely one of my favorite details. This fatality is actually a reference itself to Scream 1, when the principal, played by Henry Winkler, is killed off and they zoom in on his eye and you can see Ghostface reflection. Pretty cool. Our next little Easter egg comes from the character selection screen. If you have Ghostface announcer voice equipped, he will say this about Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, can you see me?
This is obviously a reference to the Invisible John Cena meme, which is a reference to his WWE career where he does the "you can't see me" move on his opponents. I think that this is one of the most hilarious Easter eggs in Mortal Kombat 1. Additionally, in the character select screen, if you select Kenshi, Ghostface will say this about him.
Kenshi, Daredevil, excellent choice of weapon.
This is obviously just a reference to the fact that both Kenshi and Daredevil are blind, but I don't know if this is the first Marvel Easter egg in one of these games. It probably is not, but it's definitely like the first time I've heard them call a character out like name-wise. So Daredevil technically confirmed in Mortal Kombat canonically. I mean, Ghostface said it. You heard it, they know who Daredevil is. Our next couple Easter eggs are just some references in the gear for Ghostface. Obviously, we have his iconic mask, and we also get a couple of cool Mortal Kombat variants like a Cyborg version, a Scorpion version, a Baraka version, but some of these are actual references, like the aged version, which comes from the Scream 6 movie that brought these legacy masks back, and one of these being the first mask that got aged over time. Another one being the Devil Mask, which was an official toy version that they actually made for Ghostface from the company that owns the mask, which is quite unique. And we also have the bloody version, which is probably a reference to the toy version again of the mask, where it had a hand pump and you would pump this blood through the mask and it would drip, and it made a sick Halloween costume. Another small gameplay detail that I love is when Ghostface goes to do a throw on the opponent, he will drop his knife and launch them across the screen and realize he dropped his knife and pick it up really quick. It's a very small detail, but it's these small details that make Mortal Kombat 1 so cool. Our next few Easter eggs come from the intro dialogues, first of which coming from Johnny Cage when he's going up against Ghostface. He says this.
Here's Johnny. Finally, someone gets the game I'm playing.
That is obviously a reference to The Shining, and this was also referenced in Mortal Kombat X during his fatality, which is pretty funny. There is another intro dialogue with Katana where she says this.
You are a nightmare.
No, that's the guy with the glove and fedora.
Obviously, the Nightmare sporting a glove and fedora that Ghostface is talking about is Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger was also one of the DLC characters in Mortal Kombat 9, which is very, very awesome. This is both a reference to other horror icons and a reference to more Mortal Kombat games. It's like a 2-for-1 Easter egg. It's really, really fun and playful. When going up against Kung Lao, Ghostface will say this in his intro dialogue.
Name the killer in Friday the 13th.
Huh, I know nothing of film trivia.
This is not only a reference to another horror icon, Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, this is also a reference to the fact that Jason Voorhees was in Mortal Kombat X as a DLC, and it is also a reference to Scream 1, where this is one of the first questions asked to Drew Barrymore's character when they're playing a game. This is like a triple Easter egg, super, super fun. I love that Ghostface has so much like fun little details in this game so far. This intro dialogue with Smoke.
Scary movies have made you a psycho.
Movies don't make psychos, they make psychos more creative.
Is also a reference to the first movie, where Billy says basically word for word the exact same thing, where movies don't make people psycho, they make psychos more creative. Another intro dialogue with Quan Chi, they will say this.
There's something to be said for a faceless killer.
Yeah, be afraid. Be very afraid.
This is a reference to the movie The Fly, another iconic horror movie, a very, very visceral one at that too. And this is so, so good. I love, love, love all of the movie Easter eggs in this game. Some of the best Easter eggs in this game are Ghostface brutalities. First off, we have his Now I See Something Red brutality, which is a reference to the movies where he does the exact same thing, which is super, super fun. But another Easter egg is that if you do this with the character Reptile, he will instead say,
now I see something green.
Brutality.
And that is amazing. Now I see something green. That is such a cool detail. It reminds me of the Kenshi fatality change. There is another brutality that is a reference to the way that, spoiler alert for Scream 5, Dewey dies. Knife in the front, knife in the back, dragged all the way up, and then left for dead. This is how Dewey dies, and you can do the exact same thing in Mortal Kombat 1, which is really, really cool. Additionally, during this brutality, Ghostface can copy the opponent's voice.
Now you can rest.
Brutality.
Which is super fun, and I love that this game is putting so many details. Our next little detail is another brutality, which is, spoiler alert for Scream 6, when Chad is getting attacked in the movie theater, where he just gets stabbed and punctured like 1,000 times, but it happens even worse in this game. Like, Chad actually survives, which is insane to me, but in this game, the character obviously dies from the brutality, and they go to town on this character, but this is a reference to Chad's presumed death until the very end they confirm he's alive. All right, guys, that was all of the Easter eggs that I have found so far far. Let me know if I missed any in the comments, and maybe if there's enough, I will make a part 2. I would love to talk more Ghostface, so I will be doing a live stream very soon. So if you guys are watching this recent enough, I will be playing some Ghostface with some mods, including the Was Up mask from Scary Movie. That is one of my favorite mods right now. And so I'll be playing that live. So if you do not want to miss that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like the video if you enjoyed, and let me know what other characters I should do a breakdown for Easter eggs for. Other than that, have fun, be respectful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.
What's up? What's up?